Nazism was not one or two isolated acts. Nazism was a system, a structure of ideas about the world and politics. In May 1945, Germany surrendered to the Allies. Hitler, his propaganda minister Goebbels, and his entire family committed suicide collectively in his Berlin bunker in April.
Under the shadow of the Second World War, Germany has waged a genocidal war. Genocidal, killing on large scale, leading to destruction of large sections of people. Germany, a powerful empire in the early years of the 20th century, fought the First World War alongside the Austrian Empire and against the Allies. However, the Allies, strengthened by the US entry in 1917, won, defeating Germany and the Central Powers in November 1918. The Peace Treaty of Versailles with the Alliance was a harsh and humiliating peace. Many Germans held the new Weimar Republic responsible for not only the defeat in the war but the disgrace at Versailles. Those who supported the Weimar Republic, mainly socialists, Catholics, and Democrats, became easy targets of attack in the conservative nationalist circles. They were mockingly called the November criminals. The birth of Weimar Republic coincided with the revolutionary uprising of the Spartacist League on the pattern of the Bolsheviks' revolution in Russia. The political atmosphere in Berlin was charged with demands for Soviet-style governance. The Weimar Republic crushed the uprising with the help of a war veterans organization called Free Corps. German investments and industrial recovery were totally dependent on short-term loans, largely from USA. USA support was withdrawn when the Wall Street Exchange crashed in 1929. Wall Street Exchange, the name of the world's biggest stock exchange located in the USA. On one single day, 24th October, 13 million shares were sold. This was the start of the Great Economic Depression. The German economy was the worst hit by the economic crisis. The economic crisis created deep anxieties and fear in people of Germany. These sections of society were filled with the fear of proletarianization. Proletarianization means to become impoverished to the level of working classes. The Weimar construction had some inherent defects which made it unstable and vulnerable to dictatorship. Another defect was Article 48, which gave the president the powers to impose emergency suspend civil rights, and ruled by decree. When the First World War broke out, Hitler enrolled for the army, acted as a messenger in the front, became a corporal, and earned medals for bravery. In 1919, Hitler joined a small group called the German Workers' Party, and he renamed it the National Socialist German Workers' Party. This party came to be known as the Nazi Party. In 1928, the Nazi Party got no more than 2.6% votes in the Reichstag, the German parliament. By 1932, it had become the largest party with 37% votes. After acquiring power, Hitler's plan of action. 1. The Fire Decrees of 28 February 1933 indefinitely suspended civic rights like freedom of speech, press, and assembly that had been guaranteed by the Weimar Constitution. 2. On 3rd March 1933, the famous Enabling Act was passed, which gave Hitler all powers to sideline parliament and rule by decree. Hitler assigned the responsibility of economic recovery to the economist Hjalmar, who aimed to full production and full employment through a state-funded work creation program. In 1938, the slogan of Germany was "One people, one empire, and one leader." In September 1939, Germany invaded Poland. This started a war with France and England. In 1940, a tripartite pact was signed between Germany, Italy, and Japan, strengthening Hitler's claim to international power. When Japan extended its support to Hitler and bombed the US base at Pearl Harbor, the US entered the Second World War. The war ended in May 1945 with Hitler's defeat and the US dropping the atom bomb on Hiroshima in Japan. In Nazi ideology, there was no equality between people, but only a racial hierarchy. Hitler's racism was borrowed from thinkers like Charles Darwin and Herbert Spencer. The Nazis' argument was the strongest race would survive and the weak ones would perish. Gypsies, blacks as superior, Jews were classified as undesirable, and Aryan race as superior. Hitler was fantastically interested in the youth of the country. He felt that a strong Nazi society could be established only by teaching children Nazi ideology. Children were first segregated. Germans and Jews could not sit together or play together. Racial science was introduced to justify Nazi ideas of race. Hitler believed that boxing could make children iron-hearted, strong, and masculine. Ten-year-olds had to enter Jungwalk. At age of 14, all boys had to join the Nazi youth organization. The Youth League of the Nazi was founded in 1922. 4 years later, it was renamed Hitler Youth. Children in Nazi Germany were repeatedly told that women were radically different from men. Girls had to maintain the purity of the race, distance themselves from Jews, look after the home, and teach the children Nazi values. They had to be the bearer of the Aryan culture and race. In 1933, Hitler said, "In my state, the mother is the most important citizen." But in Nazi Germany, all mothers were not treated equally. Jews wanted the world to remember the atrocities and sufferings they had endured during the Nazi killing operations, also called the Holocaust. The history and the memory of the Holocaust live on in memories, fiction, documentaries, poetry, memorials, and museums in many parts of the world today.